Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to a TEW2020 video. You join us today as we are going to the Extreme with the WWE, as it is the July pay-per-view Extreme Rules, the last pay-per-view on the road to SummerSlam, where war is certainly going to be upon us. We get into this one hoping we can stay at a Titanic level and hopefully we can get a very successful show. We're on the usual places: Bell TV, Canal Sat, DirecTV, DishNet Mexico, Main Event, Sky Box Office, Sky Perfect TV and the WWE Network, and today's show will be within Anaheim, California. So before we get started, as always, if you want to get social, you know what to do. If you want to buy the game, there'll be a link in the description below, as well as a link to the best places to get mods, and as well as seeing the rest of the community's good written and verbal diaries as well. So without further ado, let's crack on. This is WWE Extreme Rules. So we ended up with 45,045 fans in Anaheim, California, and we started off Extreme Rules with a big match-up. It was in fact a 10-way match, the winner getting a championship match at SummerSlam for any championship they wish to get their hands on. And it was a decent match-up that saw Roman Reigns defeat Finn Balor, Aleister Black, AJ Styles, Tommaso Ciampa, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, Dolph Ziggler and King Corbin in 1732, and Roman Reigns pinned King Corbin with a spear. In terms of in-ring work, it was Roman Reigns who was head and shoulders above the rest. Many of the others have been jobbed out, and I'm very, very sorry for that, because they are a fair amount of good talents in there. Randy Orton just completely jobbed out. That was my bad. But a 73 rating, and that is a good win for Roman Reigns. He will challenge for a championship of his choice at SummerSlam. Next up, we had a fatal four-way for the Raw Tag Team Championships, and in about the terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, it was a team of James Drake and Zach Gibson, the grizzled young veterans, who defeated the Street Profits, the Viking Raiders and the Undisputed Era in 11:51, when James Drake pinned Angelo Dawkins with a Mr. Mayhem, meaning your new Raw Tag Team Champions. They threatened for war on the WWE, or the grizzled young veterans. So a great run as NXT Tag Team Champions. They move up and sign officially with the WWE, and on Raw they are already Raw Tag Team Champions. So a 58 rated match up there. In terms of in-ring work, they were the second best team behind the Undisputed Era's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. But we are only just getting started for this feud going forward. Next up we had the Usos. Jimmy and Jay cut a promo on Santana and Ortiz. This is going to be a street fight for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And they're just saying, you know, both teams are from the streets, but we're going to take them to the Uso penitentiary. That would be kind of something they would say. It was a poor matchup, but it saw Santana and Ortiz pick up the win over the Usos in 11:36 when Santana pinned Jimmy Uso, giving Santana and Ortiz their second defence of the tag titles. A 65. They're getting a bit more over with their performances. They're quite even. Santana was off his game. We kind of need to give them a new gimmick because Jimmy Uso's getting a bit stale as well. But still, for a mid-card tag team at the moment in time, it'll do. It's not fantastic, but we'll get there. Next up, we had a stretcher match, and it was about to have decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, as Charlotte Flair defeated Liv Morgan when she trapped Liv in the stretcher. So 11:35 it took, but Charlotte Flair lose her way to victory, terrible pun, and a 61 rated matchup here. Not bad considering Liv was off her game, but it's short-term booking for hopefully a long-term payoff. And after the matchup, Charlotte just beats her up even more. So injuring Liv Morgan, we'll write her off TV for a wee bit. That was a 63. Next up, we had a match for the Intercontinental Championship, and it was a good matchup though, as Big E defeated Johnny Gargano in 1813. However, this was by disqualification, as it was an apparent interference from Johnny Gargano's manager and wife, Candice LeRae, giving Johnny Wrestling 1 month away now from a 1-year reign as IC champion, which is crazy to think that, but we're nearly there. 72 for Big E, 79 for Gargano, and the storyline: "Hi Johnny, has advanced and gained heat. But a good win for Big E, but on the day, Gargano stays Intercontinental Champion. After this, Roman Reigns and Johnny Gargano have a heated confrontation. Johnny Gargano sees that Roman Reigns is signalling to him he wants to face him at SummerSlam. Can the big dog win the IC title? Could Johnny Gargano's 1 year near reign be in doubt at the big event in the summer? Only a 63 because they made it 5 minutes and it should have been 4. So if that was 4 minutes, that would have been fine. I wouldn't get that penalty. An oversight by myself. Next up, we had 6-man tag team action, the feud that's obviously been going on Raw, which has been kind of Jay White and Kevin Owens having problems with the Disciples of Rollins, and of course Takahashi thrown in just to kind of give him a good matchup and a good spotlight. And it was about the good heat, decent wrestling, good wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. There we go. As Takahashi, Jay White, and Kevin Owens defeat Rollins, Murphy, and Theory in 17:48 when Kevin Owens pinned Murphy with a pop-up powerbomb, Murphy being the weak link. A simple matchup here to basically make Jay White, Takahashi look $1 million, which in terms of rating it seems like they've done. Poorest performance there was Murphy, Seth up there with 82, but yeah, a 79, and that'll end that feud because of stuff that is going to happen on Monday Night Raw. A few negatives, morale and declining physical ability for Kevin Owens. And then after it, the new Raw Tag Team Champions, the Grizzled Young Veterans, come out and say to Seth and Theory that war is upon us. Get ready. So a 64 rated segment there. What could that potentially mean? Next up was a Raw Women's Championship, and it was a decent matchup that saw Shayna Baszler defeat Asuka in 11:46 by Kimura. The 8th defence of Shayna Baszler's reign was a 70. Frustratingly, I think this could have even been higher if we had Asuka with a bit more momentum coming into this match and a bit more overness. I feel like they would have been close to a 75, but didn't want to take the title off Shayna, continues her dominance, and Asuka will go back to the drawing board. But overall, probably booked too many of my champions a bit too strong, if I'm being honest. And then Shayna cuts a promo just saying, nobody, and she means nobody, is on her level. Is anyone ever going to step forward and take her on and win the belt? Next up, Matt Riddle cuts a promo hyping an upcoming match with Karrion Kross. This is an 82, just basically saying, you know, it's going to be a very, very dangerous match. It's a fight pit match, and it's going to be Matt Riddle that makes Karrion Kross tap out. I'd also like to touch on the previous episode of SmackDown. I got a 95 for my first hype package, my sports entertainment. That usually carries the show. We don't get that luxury on pay-per-view, so we need the matches to deliver, or we just aren't going to make the profits, the popularity that we do on television. And this is Karrion Kross's last opportunity, so how will it go? Not great. Had superb wrestling, it had great heat, and Matt Riddle defeats Karrion Kross in a fight pit match in 23-21 by submission with a guillotine choke, giving Riddle his third defence of the Universal title. Both of them had good performances. In fact, they have great chemistry together, and Riddle was off his game. Interestingly enough though, this didn't even occur the psychology penalty, so a wee bit worried. It's probably limited because it was an MMA style match, but a 74, and we can just end that programme. Give Riddle something massive for SummerSlam, which will lead us to needing a main event to deliver. And it was okay. So it was a superb matchup. It saw Andrade defeat Drew, Adam Cole, and Brock Lesnar in a cage match in 26:04. When Andrade escaped the cage, Andrade makes his 4th defence of the WWE title, so a great win for Andrade there against some very, very game opponents. You can see in terms of in-ring performance, Andrade head and shoulders above the rest, and you saw that interesting one that the fans are starting to get bored by the hints at Andrade's face turn, which is very interesting because in the final segment of the show, Andrade is celebrating when Mr. Money in the Bank decides to attack him. His friend, he beats him down, Referee calls for the bell. 1, 2, 3. The new WWE Champion, Angel Garza. And that was an 81 rating. And of course, we turn Andrade. 27 segments we could have turned him babyface. And the turn had been foreshadowed for so long that fans actually grown bored, and that affected the surprise, but it still went pretty well. And Andrade turns babyface. I'm going to say about 78 for this show. Overall, 81. We'll take that. I suppose there's stuff that was pretty decent. It's quite similar there, but I think overall it's still a good event. You've basically got a new WWE Champion. You've got a massive babyface turn. You could have potentially made Angel Garza with that angle happening in the title change. And you get a new tag team on the roster as well with the grizzled young veterans. We'll jump into the main screen because I want to check a few things as well in terms of overness. And yeah, overall I'm not too disappointed with it. I know it's not gaining pop, but I think there's got to be a stage where I just go, screw it, the ratings are what they are. Adam's made it that difficult a level. Let's just have fun and just fantasy book and see where some ridiculous storylines takes us. So if this hurries up, we'll have a wee look at overness and we'll look at the financial situation as well. There we go. Obviously you can see now we are WWE Legends House with our third player, Booker T. Goldberg's retiring! Finally. Excellent, glad to see. Vast majority enjoyed the show for the pay-per-view, and ROH are offering a contract to Ian Riccaboni, but apart from that nothing else that directly affects us straight up. Main event and Bell TV will do that off video, that's fine. Mercedes Martinez is retired anyway, she's just a manager. Wheeler's got an injury. Angela Dawkins has charisma, says Big E. And we had 6.3 million viewing figures, including 4.06 on pay-per-view. 2 million people bought the event. That's pretty damn impressive. So financially, 75 million. We have obviously lost our money this year because we've been kind of continually adding to all of our media, our WWE Network and WWE Horizons, so I'm expecting to lose more money on that. Basically I had to add Horizons to cover basically places that were exclusive, weren't allowing me to broadcast certain things, so I had to work around it with WWE Horizons to extend the popularity of certain things. But overall, we're actually now kind of like 79s and 78s, so we do have that wee kind of gap in those places. Although Canada, one bad show, we dropped down to a large. Mexico is pretty safe. British Isles is safe apart from Wales. Japan ain't safe. A few bits of Europe ain't safe. And Tasmania as well. But apart from that, it's pretty solid across the board. So, final thing I want to look at. Two things, sorry. We've got to go to titles. So we can see here WWE Champion Andrade losing it to Angel Garza. Andrade had it from March. So that's not bad, only 5 champions so far, and 2 of them have been Money in the Bank cash-ins, but the prestige of the belt has dropped a little. The IC title, Gargano won it at at SummerSlam, so he's 4 weeks away. In fact, he didn't even win it at SummerSlam, he won it just before. That's right, he won it on SmackDown before it, so he could go a full year. Your new champions there, but I've only really had 2 tag champs beforehand. We've only 2 Raw Women's Champions, so Baszler's had it since October. SmackDown Tag, we've had a few actually, that's our 5th SmackDown Tag. SmackDown Women's, we've had Bayley, we've had Sasha, we've had Rhea for over 200 days as well. United States, we've had quite a few. We've went from Apollo Crews to Angel Garza to Aleister Black to Austin Theory. The Universals had quite a few. Strowman to Reigns to Wyatt to Strowman to Undertaker to Vacated to Matt Riddle. That prestige is kind of gained a little bit, but not where we want it. And somewhat real life, the Women's Tag Team Championships has been neglected a wee bit. But it says a lot when Punk Rock Chicks have had as many title defences in 57 days as the other 2 have. So I'm starting to utilise it a bit more, but still not exactly perfect. Right, let's have a wee quick look at overness before we finish up the video. So Adam Cole, oh, took a big loss. Andrade is damn well over, really over in Canada. Garza closing in. Brock, pretty much the same. And Drew, pretty much the same. So they never really took much of a loss, so that's not too bad in that regard. Carrying Cross pretty much keeps gaining, and Matt Riddle should be capped at 83 as well. So it's annoying. The caps are really annoying me, but I suppose it does make it realistic that certain superstars won't get to 100, so Matt Riddle will never surpass 83. And it's pretty annoying because even though we've kind of broken through and the companies get bigger, you'd have thought if the company get bigger would that make his pop cap get a bit higher, but not to be. I want to check Roman Reigns because he won that big match to start with. I think he'll probably capped at 79, so he's never going to get higher than that, so it's not ideal for trying to make him go forward. And Charlotte Flair, who also the victory up to the 60s, we are win over with Morgan. Kyo's getting back over, that's good to see. But we'll call it there anyway. Thanks very much for watching the video. This of course was streamed live on twitch.tv/21Maxwell. So if you are watching the video, check me out on Twitch, because we'll be doing the Raws, the Smackdowns, the NXTs and the Legends House in between. If you ever want to just come in and chat, we'll be there most nights, usually about 8 PM BST. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you are new here, hit the sub button and it allows you to see all the content, including WWF and AEW. And until next time, this is 21 Maxwell, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye bye.